History remembers empires. Midnight Relics remembers what they buried.
Imagine standing at the heart of an empire so powerful that millions obeyed its laws. Its armies conquered continents. Its rulers were worshipped like gods. Its monuments touched the sky. And yet, beneath the shining palaces, beneath the marble roads, beneath the temples and triumphal arches, lay something far darker. Mass graves, forgotten prisons, hidden tunnels, evidence of suffering that official history rarely mentions. Because every empire tells the world how it wants to be remembered. But the ground remembers something else. For thousands of years, the earth has quietly preserved secrets that emperors, kings, and conquerors hoped would never be found. History often celebrates empires through their victories. The Roman Empire, the Egyptian kingdoms, the Mongol Empire, the Aztec Empire. We admire their architecture, their military power, their achievements, but beneath every golden age lies a darker story. A story of people who disappeared, of voices that were silenced, of truths intentionally buried. And in recent years, archaeologists have uncovered discoveries that force us to confront a difficult reality. The greatest empires in history were often built on foundations of fear, violence, and human suffering. When most people imagine ancient Rome, they picture glory, the Colosseum, triumphant generals, magnificent architecture, a civilization that shaped the modern world. But beneath Rome's streets, archaeologists continue to discover another side of the empire: human remains, mass burials, evidence of brutal punishments. For centuries, Rome entertained its citizens with spee. Gladiator fights, public executions, animal hunts, tens of thousands gathered to watch people die. To many Romans, these events were normal, necessary even, a demonstration of imperial power. Yet beneath the grandeur of Roman monuments are reminders of those who paid the price. Slaves captured during wars, prisoners transported from distant lands, people whose names were never recorded. The empire celebrated its victories. The dead were simply buried beneath them. And today, their bones still tell stories the emperors never intended us to hear. For thousands of years, the pyramids have symbolized human achievement. They rise from the desert like mountains built by human hands. Visitors stand before them in awe. But every wonder comes at a cost. For generations, people imagined vast armies of slaves, constructing these monuments under brutal conditions. The truth is more complicated. Archaeological discoveries suggest many worked. Yet life remained extraordinarily difficult. Thousands endured dangerous conditions. Injuries were common. Work was relentless. Entire communities existed to serve royal projects. The pharaohs were remembered as divine rulers. Their monuments survived for millennia, but the workers who sacrificed their lives to build them largely vanished from history, until archaeologists began uncovering their tombs, their tools, their settlements, their stories. The pyramids still dominate the landscape, but beneath them lie reminders that greatness is often built through sacrifice. Powerful empires rarely survive through strength alone. They survive through fear. Throughout history, rulers understood something simple: fear can travel farther than armies. The Mongol Empire expanded across enormous distances with astonishing speed. Stories spread ahead of their armies. Cities that resisted were sometimes destroyed. Others surrendered without a fight. The message was clear. Centuries later, archaeological evidence continues to reveal the devastation left behind in regions caught between conquest and resistance. Yet history often remembers conquerors through maps. Territories gained, battles won, rarely through the experiences of ordinary people trapped in their path. For every empire that expanded, someone lost their home, their family, their future. Those stories rarely appear in monuments, but they remain buried beneath them. Before European arrival, the Aztec Empire ruled millions. Its capital, Tenochtitlan, was among the most impressive cities on Earth. Its markets overflowed with goods. Its engineers built remarkable infrastructure. Yet beneath the city's greatness existed rituals that still spark debate today. Archaeologists have uncovered ceremonial sites and human remains linked to religious practices that shocked later observers. To the Aztecs, these rituals were deeply connected to their understanding of the universe. To outsiders, they appeared terrifying. The reality is complex. Like all civilizations, the Aztecs contained beauty and brutality at the same time. And when the empire eventually fell, many of its voices disappeared with it. What remains are fragments, artifacts, bones, stories buried beneath a modern city, waiting to be understood. The greatest lesson isn't about Rome or Egypt or the Mongols or the Aztecs. It's about power itself. Every empire creates a version of history, a story designed to inspire, to impress, to justify. Monuments are built, victories are recorded, heroes are celebrated, but suffering is often hidden. The workers are forgotten, the prisoners disappear, the victims remain nameless. And yet the earth remembers, beneath palaces and temples, beneath roads and fortresses. History preserves evidence that refuses to stay buried forever. Every archaeological discovery reminds us that civilizations are more complicated than their monuments suggest. The next time you see an ancient monument, a towering pyramid, a ruined palace, or the remains of a once powerful empire, remember this: you're not only looking at what history chose to preserve, you're also looking at what it tried to hide. Because beneath every great empire lies another story. A story of ordinary people, of sacrifice, of suffering, of lives forgotten by kings and emperors. And sometimes, the most important part of history isn't what stands above the ground. It's what was buried beneath it. Lessons for us from this history. 1. Great power often hides uncomfortable truths. The most celebrated civilizations were not only built on achievement, but also on sacrifice, inequality, and suffering. 2. History is written by the powerful, but evidence tells a fuller story. Archaeology often reveals the experiences of ordinary people whose voices were excluded from official records. 3. Civilizations are more complex than heroes and monuments. Every empire contained both remarkable accomplishments and serious moral failures. 4. The past warns us about the present. Understanding how power, propaganda, and fear shaped past empires helps societies recognize similar patterns today. Final CTA. If you enjoyed uncovering history's hidden secrets, subscribe to Midnight Relics and join us as we explore the forgotten stories buried beneath the world's greatest civilizations.